Good morning and welcome to another backpacking trip. Today is Friday, July 10th, 2015, and we are in Grafton, Maine once again. We were here twice last year. Once for the Grafton Loop Trail hike, and once as the end point for our AT section hike from Pinkham Notch here to Grafton Notch. And what we're doing this time is another AT section hike, starting here in Grafton Notch and going north for 79.0 miles to, I forget the road number, but it's near the town of Stratton, Maine. And that's going to take us most of 7 days, 6 nights, because we're not going to push too hard. This is real backpacking, you know, as opposed to that stuff I do in Connecticut and Massachusetts. Not to take anything away from them. I live in Connecticut. I like it there, but it's not Maine. So we have a short day today. Only about 5.8 miles. I'm just a little bit, you know, a few steps onto the trail. We left the parking lot at 10:30. 5.8 miles to Fry Notch Shelter, I think it's called, where hopefully we will find a place to hang a hammock. But first, to get there, we have to go over the Baldpates. And the taller one, East Baldpate, is a climb from here of about 2,300 feet. So that's most of the day, and it's about 4 miles to get there. So we have a lot of walking uphill to do. You know, I can never decide whether it's more useful to you, the viewer, to show the map at the beginning of a day's hike or at the end. But I think I'll go ahead and show you the map now. Today we're starting in the trailhead parking lot in Grafton Notch State Park, where we'll get on the Appalachian Trail northbound and begin climbing Baldpate Mountain almost immediately. We will eventually pass Baldpate Lean-To, and then the west peak and east peak of Baldpate Mountain. From there we'll descend about 1,500 feet down to Fry Notch Lean-To, where we will spend the night. And on the profile map, today looks like this. We'll ascend over West Peak and then East Peak and then descend down into Fry Notch. It's about 11:15, and we've come to the upper intersection with the Table Rock Trail. The lower intersection is right down near the road, and I really didn't have any thought about going out there, but the sign says it's an extraordinary view. So for extraordinary, I guess maybe we'll go. It doesn't say how far it is, you know, but we're doing well on time, and we got a short day, as I said. So we'll go take a look. Well, if I'd known it was that far, I probably wouldn't have gone. So it's a 15-minute walk about to get in there, and it's 200, 300 foot elevation gain, and it's an okay view. It's pretty nice. But there was a local family out there taking in the view, so I didn't do much filming there, but we'll get more views up at the top. So it's now about 12:15, so that whole excursion took about half an hour. At this point, we've come about 0.8 of a mile from the trailhead, and we have another 1.5 miles to the East Baldpate shelter. I'm not sure we'll be going in to take a look at that, but at least when we get there, we'll know where we are. It's 10 minutes of 1, and we've come to the side trail to the Baldpate lean-to. And even though I went in there, last year, so I know what it looks like and filmed it, so you could know what it looks like. I'll go in there and take a break anyway. So here's the Baldpate lean-to. When I took some film here last year on the Grafton Trail, as I recall, it was foggy, misty, so this is probably a better view than that was. There's a big fire ring here, right in the front. When I took a look around last year, I found, there are lots of tent sites, a few places good for hammocks, and just a few minutes looking. No official sites that I found, though. No tent platforms or pads or anything like that. But plenty of space. This arrow on the left side of the shelter points you down a path to the privy. And here's the privy. It seems to be in pretty good shape, well constructed and designed. And the water is apparently down this way. And there's a brook with a nice pool for dipping. Here's our pack for this trip, which is the same pack as we've had on all of our other trips. So nothing really new here. Some very minor gear changes that I might talk to at some point. But let's see, this morning when I weighed out without food, fuel, or water, the pack weight was a little over 15 pounds, and with food, fuel, and water, it was about 26.5 pounds. So the weather today is pretty good. A little shy of gorgeous. I'll save that term for another day. There's a kind of a high haze, and there are some clouds, but the temperature's 72, which is very pleasant. Humidity's not too bad. So, and this should continue. The long-range forecast only has scattered showers on a day or two later on in the week. So, weather shouldn't really be an issue except in a positive way if things go according to the forecast. And kind of weather-related, I was somewhat concerned that we might still be in high bug season here in early July in Maine, but that appears not to be the case. I've had maybe 2 mosquitoes buzz my ear so far in the trip. So that doesn't say there aren't places that are infested, but it's not it's not everywhere. So that's good news too. We're just off to a whiz-bang start. So it's about 12 after 1, and we're back on the AT and ready to continue on to the north. It's 0.8 of a mile to the west peak of Baldpate, which is the peak you can't see anything from. Since the trailhead, we've come 2.3 miles to get here and come up about 1,000 feet. In the next 0.8, we're going to do another 1,000 feet. So it's going to get steeper. It's 5 after 2 now, and we have reached the summit of the west peak of Baldpate Mountain. No, Baldpate Mountain. Well, we can see the sky now, but not really anything on the horizon. But that should be corrected soon. So we have to go down into a little sag, of course, and a boggy area, and then we'll come out above tree line for a lot of the climb up the east peak. So that'll be nice. Get even more breeze. We could use some breeze too. All right, on we go. Well, it's about 2:45, and we are near the summit of the west peak of Baldpate. We're not quite there yet, but I'm going to film here in this little group of trees because out in the open, the wind is blowing enough that I'm pretty sure it would affect the camera sound adversely. So once we get there, we have 1.8 miles and about a 1,500-foot descent to get down to Fry Notch Lean-To. That should be fun. So the weather continues to be very pleasant.